It all started with the sound of a low, deep matte black, sleek, and unapologetically loud. That was my Lamborghini the first time I parked it in my driveway. I just stood there in the golden light of the evening, grinning like a kid who just unwrapped Christmas morning. Years of 80-hour work weeks, skipped weekends, and living off takeout and ambition, it all built to this. My grandpa, who lives with me, just chuckled when he saw me staring at it. "Son," he said, "you look like a boy who just saw heaven and horsepower." And maybe I did. What I didn't know then was that I had just parked a live grenade in the middle of our beige little suburb. The next morning, the doorbell rang before my coffee had finished brewing. And there she was, Claudia, HOA president for the past 11 years, self-declared guardian of neighborhood standards and professional vibe killer. Standing beside her, nearly hiding behind her shoulder, was her son, Trevor. He's 24, but looks and sulks like he's been grounded since 2008. His hoodie was too long, his hair too greasy, and he was drooling literally over my car. Claudia didn't bother with hello. She just pointed one bony finger toward the Lamborghini and said, "This is causing a problem." I blinked. "You mean my car?" "It's triggering my son's emotional instability," she said. "Like that should mean something to me. Every time he sees it, it reminds him of everything he doesn't have. He's been deeply depressed." Trevor nodded solemnly like a monk in a trance, then sniffled and muttered, "It's my dream car. You shouldn't flaunt it." I stood there barefoot in my doorway, trying to process whether I was still dreaming. "You think I should what?" "Move it." "No," Claudia said, puffing up like a peacock. "For the sake of neighborhood harmony and Trevor's mental well-being, we've decided it would be best if you shared the car. Co-ownership. 1 week you, 1 week him. Fair." My jaw might have actually hit the floor. "Absolutely not," I said, a little too calmly, because inside I was seeing red. Trevor took a step toward the car like he might lick it. That's when Grandpa's words came back to me: "You work for what you want, and you protect what's yours." Claudia squinted at me like I was a disobedient student. "We can pass a temporary provision. Exotic vehicles with visibility above a certain threshold must be made available for community morale purposes. It's perfectly within my jurisdiction." I smiled, but not nicely. I'd rather drive it into the lake than let Trevor touch it. She didn't like that. That night, I locked the car in the garage like it was gold bullion. I even parked my beat-up Ford behind it. And sure enough, next morning, long, deep scratch across the driver's side. Jagged, angry, keyed all the way from bumper to handle. I didn't need a detective to tell me who did it. The letters started after that. Noise complaint. Improper vehicle storage. Visual obstruction of driveway flow. All signed, neatly, by Claudia herself. Then came the fines. Hundreds of dollars. I tried talking to neighbors, but most just nodded quietly. Some had been hit too. Wrong flowers. Fence height. One guy got fined for overly decorative wind chimes. And then one afternoon, I get a text from Grandpa. "Tow truck's here. Claudia's with them." I tore out of work and sped home like a bat out of hell. When I got there, a greasy tow truck was backed up to my driveway, hooks swinging loose. Claudia stood there, smug as ever, waving what looked like an official document. "This vehicle's been classified as abandoned under emergency HOA order," she said. "I'm enforcing it." "In my own driveway?" I shouted. "I drove it yesterday." The tow guy shrugged. "I got the paper." She signed it. "I tow what I'm told." That's when Uncle Roy showed up. Now, Roy. He lives 2 streets over, fixes lawnmowers in his garage, and firmly believes every HOA is one forged document away from dictatorship. He came roaring around the corner on his riding mower, wearing a plastic Viking helmet and waving a rake like a sword. "Back away from the carriage, sorceress," he yelled. Even Claudia looked confused. While Roy circled the tow truck like a drunk juicer, I took a closer look at that so-called order. Fonts didn't match. Stamp was crooked. One part was even misspelled. I'd worked contracts before I knew fake when I saw it. That night, I ordered the best security cameras I could find and installed them quietly, one watching the garage, another facing Claudia's house. And then, things got strange. A few nights later, my phone buzzed at 2:03 a.m. motion alert. It was Trevor. He crept across the lawn like a kid sneaking cookies, hoodie pulled up, holding a can of spray paint. He walked right up to the car, shook the can, raised his arm, and froze. He looked at it like it was a puppy about to bite him. Then, he hesitated. For a moment, I actually felt bad for him. He looked lost, confused. like someone being told what to do but too scared to question it. Then he took a breath and sprayed a fat yellow line across the hood. I hit the floodlight. He screamed, dropped the can, tripped, and ran home like a raccoon on roller skates. But here's where it got real weird. At the same time, on my second camera, the one facing Claudia's house, I saw something else. A black sedan pulled up. Lights off. Someone came out. Claudia stepped out of her door with a briefcase. They exchanged it for an envelope. Fast. Quiet. Suspicious as hell. Suddenly, this wasn't just about my car anymore. I started digging. Claudia had once hired a company, Redwood Solutions LLC, for community beautification. They'd paved our sidewalks at double the market rate. Guess who owned a silent partnership in Redwood? Yup, Claudia. It was all there in old filings. She was steering HOA funds into a company she had ties to. That briefcase. It wasn't HOA business. It was kickback. And Trevor? Well, one camera showed something that chilled me. One night, Claudia handed him a pill before leaving the house for one of her mystery meetings. He didn't want to take it. He argued. She insisted. He took it, then slumped into the couch like a tranquilized deer. That's when it hit Mayhay wasn't just an entitled brat. He was being kept weak. I'd seen enough. The annual HOA meeting was coming up. Normally, 10 people show up, half of them just there for free coffee. But this time, I made sure the clubhouse was packed. I didn't go in angry. I went in prepared. Claudia started the meeting like usual: budget talk, upcoming elections, reminders about mailbox paint codes. Then I stood up. I'd like to speak. Claudia tried to shut me down. We're not discussing your car, Mr. Branson. It's not about my car, I said. It's about fraud, forgery, vandalism, and abuse of power. The room went quiet. I showed the fake tow order first, pointed out every inconsistency. Then came the invoices: Redwood Solutions, paving jobs, consulting fees, landscaping tools no one ever saw. All grossly overpriced. All paid through HOA funds. Then I played the footage: Trevor spray painting my car. Then the pill. No narration. Just the silence of a kid sinking into a couch, drugged into submission. By the end, Claudia was pale. The other board members? They couldn't run fast enough. One even asked to resign mid-meeting. The tow truck guy, who'd been there to support her, stood up and said, "She told me to fake it. I didn't know it was illegal. She said it was HOA business." Police were called that night. Claudia was arrested 2 days later, charged with embezzlement, fraud, forgery, and endangering her own son. Trevor was taken in by his aunt, put into therapy. And I hope, truly, that he finds his footing. Because underneath the whining was a kid who never had a chance. As for the neighborhood, we elected a new board. Grandpa joined the architectural committee. Roy became head of fun and hosted an ice cream truck every Friday. And my Lamborghini? It got a fresh coat of matte black and a new security system with laser sensors and a polite little sign. This car was earned. Try it yourself sometime. Looking back, the real battle wasn't about a car. It was about standing your ground when power gets abused. About exposing what hides behind fake smiles and HOA letterheads. And about not letting people like Claudia turn community into a weapon. Now, I'm curious. If you were in my shoes, would you have stopped at the vandalism? Or would you have gone deeper, risking more, digging up the rot, exposing the system? Let me know in the comments. What is real justice to you? Because sometimes, it all starts with one parked car and a neighbor who asks for more than just sugar.